The evening of Saturday, April the 14th, again, everything was normal, everything was great. And then the family emergency happened, and I was literally just shaken with fear. I didn't know what to do, you know, I froze. My hands froze. I was literally just like that. I was like a shaking, quivering wreck. The spite of the family emergency made me lose my fear of dying, but then after that has died away and things have got back to normal, I've gone back to my old habit. I love to be in the mind of... That sounds really, really weird and really, really fucked up. I mean in terms of that, you know, I want to be in the mind of a girl. That Swedish DJ Avicii has lost his life, and it came out literally today that he actually committed suicide. However, and this is the moment that you guys sitting at home will be sitting and thinking to yourself, is this the moment? Is this the moment that I announce my retirement from this YouTube channel? Am I about to announce the end for DJ Bagpuss? And we are recording. Oh my god, these are one of these days where I literally do not want to record a video. Like, generally, I have been in bed all day, and like my plan this morning was to wake up bright and early and record this podcast for you guys. And at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, from waking up at about like midday, I was still in bed. I thought, right, I need to get up and actually get on to do this. So, you know, for the good of all of you people, I am doing this podcast, even though ideally today I just want to sit in bed and chill out all day, which I have been doing all day, coincidentally. I set my alarm for like 9 a.m. and as I woke up at 9 a.m, my alarm woke me up, and I was just like, right, snooze, go back to sleep. Has anyone ever done that? Have you known, like, when you know, the night before you sit there, right, I'm going to set my alarm for like 9 a.m, even though, like, I'm saying if you haven't got to go out to work or school, like, you know, for me as a YouTuber, I set my own hours, really. But have you ever done a thing, like, particularly at the weekend, when you want to get up and get on with some chores around the house, or you're going out somewhere, and like the night before you plan and prepare and you set your alarm, and then as soon as your alarm, you know, kicks off and wakes you up into a steaming pile of joy, what the alarm, you know, and the sound of the alarm, or what the sound of the alarm actually gives you, have you ever just like picked up your phone, switched it off, and gave yourself another 2 hours in bed? Because that's literally what I did this morning. But nonetheless, after my day of procrastination, I am here to do a podcast, and it is the week that changed my life. And this is not clickbait by any means. I'm not clickbaiting you guys. I'm going to be discussing what happened last week. From Saturday, April 14th to Friday, April the 20th was the week that changed my life. And there's so much that's happened over these last kind of, obviously, you know, that's a week later, so kind of these last 7 days kind of got back into it. But like, we're going back now almost 2 weeks ago, so, you know, 14 days ago almost, was a week that literally just, oh, it was crazy, absolutely crazy. It changed my life for all of the wrong and right reasons, really, and also why I took a 7-day hiatus from YouTube. And I've never ever done that before. Obviously, I've had moments where I have like not uploaded in a week, or, you know, right at the start I had that 3-week hiatus. But like, from when I started this YouTube channel in March, and having that 3-week hiatus to kind of just, you know, see, firstly, if you guys were actually watching me, and then to find out what works, what doesn't work, you know, the strengths, the weaknesses, and to give me, you know, time to see how the response of my first YouTube video would incline me doing more videos in the future. And like, even then, I was still recording and editing videos, so I had about a 2-week hiatus right at the start of March. However, after that, and for like the last kind of year, even though I might not upload, you know, and I've had 7 days away from uploading, which is rare in itself, I have been constantly working on videos for the last year, like non-stop, from when I recorded, I think I recorded a video on the 17th of March, so, you know, just a year and a month, I've been constantly working on YouTube. And I'm not just talking about, you know, uploading videos, you know, recording videos, editing videos, doing the branding, doing the promoting, you know, doing planning for future videos. I've constantly been working on this YouTube channel. So to have 7 days where I completely just, you know, took a step back and didn't do any YouTube videos of any sort, that kind of, you know, there had to be something quite huge in order for me to actually just, you know, bring everything to a standstill and not do any YouTube videos. And as I put on my social medias and kind of, you know, explain to you guys, there was a family emergency which made me instantly just stop everything, and I'm going to be talking about it. I'm not going to go into details about what actually was the family emergency, but I'm going to tell you guys how it made me feel, how it made me stop YouTube for a week, and also how it made me just reevaluate just everything generally, and also how it kind of conquered my fear of dying, but also the fact that it kind of hasn't, as I still worry, and like literally today is a very sensitive day for me. So, you know, as you probably guessed, the family emergency was pretty serious, shall we say. And also, as you can see from like down below, from where I'm talking right now, you'll see the podcast point, shall we say, which allows you to jump to the moments that interest you, or just to have, you know, an hour of your time listening to, you know, me. I had a job interview, so I'm going to briefly talk about that, and that will result in talking about the future of this channel. So yeah, this is going to be a fairly short and sweet podcast, but one that is me just basically talking about the events of the last kind of 7 days, and it means that I don't have to address this again in the future, because, you know, there was a lot of people that I had on Twitter, and I think I'm just about to hit 1,000 followers on Twitter, so thank you so much for the support that you showed on Twitter. And also, I've literally just hit 300 subscribers, so we're hitting many, many milestones over these last couple of days. And I had people tweeting me saying, you know, where have you gone? You know, I last spoke to you, I did an Analyze an Arsenal video looking at the match review of when we drew to CSK Moscow, and that was on, I'm trying to think, Thursday, April the 12th. So, you know, and my next video was, I was thinking of doing a video on Saturday the April the 14th, and I didn't, but then I knew my next video was going to be on Sunday, April the 15th, as I gave my next Analyze an Arsenal looking at my thoughts vids to the game against Newcastle United, and there just wasn't a video, and people were like thinking and, you know, asking me, where is the video? And I didn't upload again till Friday, April the 20th, so 8 days, and, you know, you're probably sitting there thinking, that's nothing, you know, 8 days is nothing, it's not like having a month off. But like I said, you know, right at the start of this podcast, you know, I've been constantly working on YouTube videos for about, like, as I said, for like a year. So to have just like 7 days completely away was very unusual. But yeah, let me start with the family emergency and why I stopped YouTube, and just how like life changed for me in a single, you know, solid moment. And I know what you're thinking, am I over exaggerating, am I over dramatising the situation? But generally, it honestly was the scariest moment of my life, and it just reiterates the point how nobody can predict of where life can take you, and you never know what's around the corner. And it's a very, very corny and cheesy, you know, phrase that everybody says, well, you never know what's around the corner, or you never know, you know, what door you're about to go down. And, you know, many of us, and particularly myself, you know, I'm just sitting there like, you know, I'll deal with problems, you know, if and when they happen, you know, and that is kind of the way that everybody deals with life. You know, we don't worry about something, we probably do worry about stuff, because I worry about stuff more than most, but, you know, we probably get to a position where, you know, most people don't worry about something until it's like, you know, staring them right blank in the face. And, you know, for me, you know, particularly over this last kind of 3-4 weeks, things have been going well. You know, as I said, I had a job interview, you know, the YouTube channel was thriving, you know, we'd just come off the back of a very, very solid and successful Easter weekend, and just things in general for me were going, you know, rather well. You know, no major, you know, blips, no major problems. You know, I've started a brand new drug for my illness, which I'll talk about later on in this video, and just generally things were going swimmingly well, and there wasn't really anything that was concerning, nor was anything alarming. And, you know, we then moved into, you know, Saturday the April the 14th, and, you know, it was a normal day. It was a normal day, you know, in our household, everything was normal. You know, it was the day of the Grand National, I remember. I went out to see a friend in the afternoon, and just, you know, it was, you know, a very normal day. And what was interesting also, and how kind of fate really does play a part, is that obviously I had my Analyze an Arsenal video on the Thursday, and I was going to then do another Analyze an Arsenal video on the Sunday. And I wanted to bring out a video on the Saturday of the day where the family emergency happened. And the 24 hours previously, on Friday morning, I kind of just said, right, I'm just gonna have a day off really. I recorded a couple of additional bits, but I'm working on a couple of different videos, or I was working on some different videos and changed around my schedule. And I said to myself that Saturday I'm going to have, just a Saturday off, do the Analyse and Ask video on Sunday and then bring out a video Monday. That was my plan, really. So, even though the channel was doing fairly well, the CSK Moscow video was getting views, and, I normally like to upload a video in between my Analyse and Arsenal videos. But for some reason I just thought, let me just work on other projects, and I don't want to force out a video, this weekend for no reason. So, I just continue to work on projects, really. And the evening of Saturday, April the 14th, again, everything was normal, everything was great. And then the family emergency happened, and like I said, I'm not going to go into any details. That is private between, myself and my family. But, it was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying, and like I said, life changed for me in a single, solid second, just in that single moment, because, we take families for granted, and we take ourselves for granted, friends, family, relationships, we get worried and we get angered over tiny, minute things that really, in terms of the context of life, are small. They are so small, it is unbelievable. And when you have something life-changing happen to you, you then sit back and then take into consideration, and you can only then reflect on what is going on, really. And that for me was what was so eye-opening. Not just the fact that what I saw was terrifying and how it was a terrifying moment in my life, that it just makes you reevaluate everything, your friends, your relationships, what you're doing in life, the destiny that you are looking to go down, the roads that you've gone down, the choice that you make. It makes you question everything, really. And another thing that kind of was so eye-opening, really, was fear. Fear, can take hold of you and kind of, grab you and almost put like a circular ring around you. And, I never ever in a million years thought about fear in that way. I've never had a moment where I've had moments where I've been scared, and moments where, I've been, frightened at, something or nothing. But I've never felt true fear until now. And you've ever heard the phrase of being shaken with fear? And, even though I didn't really. But, you hear it in terrible events that happened in the news, and when you hear about these horrible atrocities that happened in the world, and you hear so when someone's been raped, or almost been murdered, or has been assaulted, or something traumatic has happened to somebody, and they say the phrase that and when they're questioned, they say hypothetically, if they get raped, and that person says, well, I tried to fight them off, I tried to do all of these different things, but I was just shaken with fear. And I used to sit there and think to myself, surely your fight or flight kicks in. Surely you get to a stage where you can just, you're fighting for your life. Your human kind of, your human reaction kicks in. That humanist thing that we have in all of us, that our bodies recognise when we're in danger, understand when we're in peril, and they kick into gear. Your body is constantly trying to protect you, and it won't give up on you for some just small reason. It will fight to the very end, all of us, and our bodies have that fight or flight in us to really kick in when we're faced with high levels of danger. And I never ever, I just disregarded when people said they were shaken with fear. But I was shaken with fear. In this family emergency, I was shaken with fear, and I'm quite a calm and rational person. I don't lose my temper very often, maybe when I'm gaming, bit of Fortnite, bit of Call of Duty, as you can see here, rocking the little bit of Call of Duty merchandise, bit of a throwback, and I lose my temper on, video games, and occasionally when I'm in confrontations with people, but that's very, very rare. It takes a lot for me to lose my temper and lose my calm and composure, but I shit you not, on Saturday, April the 14th, when this family emergency happened, I was all over the shop, and I was literally just shaken with fear. I didn't know what to do, I froze, my hands froze, I was literally just like that. I was like a shaking, quivering wreck. And you know, it made me reevaluate everything. Now, the good news is that the family emergency has been resolved. You know, nobody has died, nobody has been, you know, hurt. Everything is sorted now, you know, but it literally has been sorted in the last couple of days. And, you know, once you have an emergency or something that is so terrifying and something that you can't quite believe that you've just seen, and something that will stay with you till you die. You know, you get those moments where you see something that you'll never ever forget, and this was one of those moments. You know, your first response is like, fuck, I can't believe that's just fucking happened. I don't know. You know, you're left speechless. You can't quite believe what you have seen. And then your next kind of response is, once it's happened and once the dust has settled and once things are starting to get into a position where they start to calm down and seem rational, you then start, you know, reevaluating everything. Because in that split and second moment, or in that split second, I'm really fucked up saying that, in that split second, in that, you know, single moment, everything could have been different. And when you've got something like that, you go, fucking hell, you know, I've got to reevaluate everything. And that is what I meant in terms of, you know, reevaluating, you know, your friends, your relationships, you know, petty little arguments, you know, stuff and really stupid stuff that used to worry me. You lose everything. You know, those go. Those are abolished. Because you get to a point where you're holding on to the finer things in life. The most important things in your life kind of, you know, come to the fruition. They come right to the top of the table when you get to that position and that point where you realise what's important and what isn't. And, you know, that is why I wanted to stop doing YouTube for a week, because I thought I'm not going to put 110% of soul and energy and everything into the YouTube channel, you know, like I normally do. You know, I put my blood, sweat and tears into this YouTube channel, and when you are off the back of having something truly life-changing and traumatic happening to you, your mind is not at that, you know, moment. That is not at that space. So I had to just, you know, stop it completely, you know, kill it in its tracks, and just focus on the finer things in life. And I don't mean YouTube, because YouTube is a fine thing in my life, and it's something that I don't feel I could live without doing YouTube. And, you know, if I did, there'd have to be a very, very good reason not to, whether that's just people not watching me anymore, or whether I had to concentrate on my health, or anything. You know, it'd take a lot for me to stop this YouTube channel. So, you know, it kind of terrified me. It made me ponder, and it made me, you know, question everything. You know, questioning, am I going down the right path? Is YouTube something like I actually want to do? You know, it made me question everything, because, you know, shock can play a huge part, and you're so irrational. You know, you're so sporadic, and your thoughts and your feelings are so all over the place that you can't fabricate. You know, you can't fabricate rationalised thoughts, because they just don't happen. It's particularly when something really horrible has happened. And, you know, talking about things, sorting stuff out was the main aim of that week. You know, Saturday, April the 14th was the moment. But, you know, the moment, even though it sticks with you and, you know, you replay it over and over again for some days, you know, once it's happened, you then are left with the thoughts, the never-ending thoughts, the constant questioning, you know, everything about life. And that is something that you have to get to terms with. And once you've got everything sorted, then you can come up with answers to the questions. So, you know, when I ask myself, is YouTube the right place for me? Yes. You know, am I happy with what I'm doing in life? Yes. Am I happy with the friends and relationships that I've got going at the minute? Yes. But, you know, at the time, those questions are irrational. You can't answer them. It's only when, as I said, when the dust settles, you then get to answering those questions. And another thing for me, really, and I've done a video about this on my channel before, particularly as I have a huge phobia of death. And, you know, I'm 20 this year, so for a 19-year-old to have a fear of death is rare. You know, and I've asked this question with all of my mates, and, like, some just don't care, some just say that, you know, once you die, that's it, you won't know, you know, it's just, young people don't really think about that, but then you get people like me who are just, I'm terrified, you know, I really have to feel under the weather and I feel like I'm going to die, and, you know, I've got 3 illnesses, so, you know, I'm going to be feeling ill, you know, way more often than normal, and I'm constantly checked. So if anything, I'm at more of an advantage than anybody else because I get regularly checked because of my illnesses. The first instance of anything coming up that would be remotely, threatening, I'd be informed straight away. And, when the life-changing event happened for me, I said that's it. I'm not going to be afraid of dying anymore. Just because of the fact that the family emergency was so quick that if, God forbid, something happened to, me or anybody else, because it happened so quickly, and you hear about these people who literally just drop. They have no idea. You're literally just, you're talking or you're watching something or you're doing an activity that you like, and then you just drop, and you're gone. That's it. You wouldn't know. And if there is an afterlife, and if there's a heaven up there, and I'm not religious, but I do believe that there could be something, after you die. I mean, I hope there is. There must be something, really. Otherwise, what's the point of all of this? So it's kind of, if there is something out there, then you're going to be reunited with all of the people that you love, or you're reincarnated into something. And if there isn't anything out there, just like it is before you're born, you won't know. That you won't know anything because everything will be gone. So I generally thought that I had turned a corner, and finally, after almost 20 years, I've conquered this fear. And today, I've got these fears. I feel a little bit shitty today. And of the day I'm recording this, this is Friday, April the 22nd, April the 27th, and I'm going to be uploading this hopefully on April the 28th, which will be the Saturday, 2 weeks to the day of when the family emergency happened. But I generally thought I turned the corner, but today I've had these anxiety thoughts. I don't suffer with anxiety, but I do have panic attacks and fears just about dying, and the spite of the family emergency made me lose my fear of dying, but then after that has died away and things have got back to normal, I've gone back to my old habits. So I'm trying to work out how and what best way it is to try and stop this fear of dying, because it's so stupid and it's so silly, because it's something that is out of my control. It's something that, as I said in the video that I did in October, when it does happen, and hopefully it's going to happen in like 40, 50, 60 years, touch wood, either I won't know, so how can I be afraid of something that I won't know has actually happened, or, if it is, I'm reunited with my granddad, or I'm reincarnated into somebody else. Like, I really want to come back as a girl. I think that'd be quite cool. I love to be in the mind of a girl. That sounds really, really weird and really, really fucked up. I mean, in terms of that, I want to be in the mind of a girl just to see how a girl sees life to a boy that sees life, if I was reincarnated. Or reincarnated as an animal, really. I don't know what animal I'd want to be. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a gorilla, or because I like King Kong. I don't know, I'm procrastinating like mad, and that's why I love doing these podcasts. It's just unfiltered and, rambling incoherence that comes out of my mouth trying to, talk about something that's quite serious. But, it's one of those things where, my fear is so stupid. If you've got a fear of spiders, don't go near spiders. If you've got a fear of, jumping out of the plane, don't go in the plane. If you've got afraid of heights, don't go anywhere high. But, I'm scared of something that I can't, control. Unless they bring immortality in the future, or give you a pill that makes you live forever. It's out of my hands. And it's the way that the human race and the world works. We're born, we live for an unknown amount of time. Some people live more than others, and then you die. And it's going to happen. Now, I'm quite young. So, God forbid if anything does happen to me, even though I've got illnesses, I should have a better fighting chance than someone who was older. Because scientifically, the younger you are, the more chance you have of survival. But, realistically, I probably will be here for another 50, 60 years, for you lucky people. So, I need to just enjoy life and stop worrying about every little thing. If I feel a little bit under the weather, I'm not going to drop. I felt worse than how I felt today. Hundreds of times. I felt, and I've even, I had chickenpox when I was a teenager, and when you've got, Crohn's and you get something like that, you're in trouble, because, I took a medication that, suppressed my immune system, so my body was struggling even more to fight off whatever was wrong with me. So, you know, I've been probably close to death many times that I didn't even know and not even aware that I was close to death. So I need to just enjoy life, you know, enjoy the moments out there and make every day count and make every day like it is my last day. Because, you know, the amount of times I thought I was going to die and haven't, you know, I've had this fear of dying for like 5 or 6 years and I'm still alive. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that this fear ruins my life, because it's kind of, you know, it doesn't affect me. It's normally when I'm like, you know, laying in bed late at night and I start having these thoughts, and when I'm feeling under the weather like today, you know, if I'm feeling fine, I won't think about it. But when I'm, you know, under the weather, and particularly today where I've got no energy, it comes into your head. And I'll be really interested to see, like, any other young people out there that have that same fear. You know, because it's just something that you can't control. And, you know, I thought seeing something that was so life-changing would change my view and kill my fear. And I thought I'd conquered it. I thought I killed the fear of death in its tracks and conquered it and overcome an obstacle. But then I'm back to square one today. So, I don't know really, you know. And other things that have kind of been poignant this week is seeing people around me that have lost their life and passed away, that have made me kind of, you know, sit there and think to myself, you know, whoa, you know, now that reinforces the idea of making every single day count. On Friday, April the 20th, the news broke out, and it was really, really sad news, that Swedish DJ Avicii has lost his life, and it came out literally today that he actually committed suicide. 28 years old. And for some reason, like, you hear about these celebrities that die, and like this year, who else has died this year that I was really shocked and perplexed here? The girl from The Vicar of Dibley, can't remember her name. She played Dawn French's best mate. She died at like 50 because of a heart attack, which is quite a well-known. What's his name? The guy that was, I wouldn't say midget, but you know, the little guy that died. I think he died on Saturday at age 49. You know, and seeing all these people that have just passed away last year, David Bowie, you know, who else? Alan Rickman. You know, these deaths are like ones that, like, even though I was like, oh, I can't believe they died, my condolences to all of their family, I was sitting there and they don't really affect me. They don't hit me as hard as Avicii did. And Avicii's death did hit me hard, because not only am I a huge fan of his music, like, as I said, I loved remixing and I love just electronic music. It's one of my most passionate areas of music, and I've used Avicii a hell of a lot on my YouTube channel. I think he's got 4 songs in my 100 best songs ever. I used him, and I literally used him in my last edited video, in the FIFA 18 draft video. I used a remix of his song Without You that literally came out the day before I uploaded that draft video. Beautiful remix of Without You. I highly recommend it. It's on the YouTube channel name Proximity. Type in Proximity or type in Avicii Without You, the hymn remix. It's absolutely wonderful. It's such a beautiful remix, and I really hope you heard it before we tracked it past. But, you know, what a waste. You know, what an absolute waste of a life. You know, 28 years old, such a talented individual. You know, one of the best DJs, if not the best DJ out there in the modern, you know, era of music making. Some of the best modern contemporary dance music imaginable, and you know, he takes his own life because it got too much for him, you know. And yes, you know, he had many health issues because of his excess drinking, and you know, being a heavy drinker, or you know, having lots of substances in your body. You think of the, you know, Finn from Glee, who, you know, Corey Monteith, who died in 2013 because of a drug overdose, and all of these big celebrities that die of overdoses or die because of excess, you know, substance abuse in terms of drink or drugs. You know, you're already going down a slippery slope. But eventually got to the point where, I mean, nobody knew what had ended and been the cause of his death. But, you know, to take your own life at 28, when you've got the world at your feet, when you're making some amazing music, and I know he had to give up touring because he got ill, but, you know, it's you're sitting there thinking, what a waste, and what was the point of all of that? You know, it's great that he gave the world great music, and his music will live on for all of eternity. You know, just like the great music artists like Michael Jackson, who's been dead, or it'll be next year, a decade since Michael Jackson died, which is crazy. I remember where I was when I heard the news that Michael Jackson died. You know, these artists will live on more than ever. And I don't know why I'm talking about this in like the week that changed my life, but like this is important. You know, their music will live on for like forever and ever and ever and ever. But they're troubled souls, and that's the problem when you are, you know, in the limelight, when you're a public figure, and when you're held in such great esteem. You know, it's must be so, you know, invigorating to the brain, and it must be so mentally draining, and because you're constantly, you know, performing, or you're constantly, you know, writing songs, you're constantly working. You know, everybody needs their downtime, and these pop stars or people in the public, you know, domain, you know, they never get their downtime because they're always surrounded by paparazzi who want to, you know, showcase and, you know, write more about their life, you know, and you always get that. So, you know, it's no wonder why these celebrities turn to drink and drugs, because, you know, sometimes they just want to forget that they are this, you know, celebrity and this pop star, as somebody that, you know, you've got millions of people around the world who are crying, screaming, pleading over them, you know, and taking these substances makes you forget, makes you go back to being a normal person. Now the problem with that is that once you know, abuse your body with substances, you know, you feel on top of the fucking world, you feel on cloud fucking nine, but then you got the come down, and the come down is shitty. You know, and I mean, I've never taken any drugs, I've always taken legal drugs, let me just say, but I remember once when I was like very, very ill, when my Crohn's and arthritis had relapsed, you know, really badly, and I, like, nothing was working, there was no medication that was working, and they put me on prednisolone, which is steroids, which is like the ultimate drug. For anyone that has got arthritis or Crohn's, you know, prednisolone is almost your dream, because basically it feels like you're cured. You know, steroids really help someone who has got, you know, mild form, although I won't say that my illnesses are mild, you know, that I haven't got it in every single bone in my body, but I've got it in enough areas that it does affect my day-to-day life. And when you take prednisolone, when you take steroids, it kind of just clears up all of the pain and all of the fluid, and makes you and enables you to live you know, a normal day. You know, you can go out, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. And like, there's obviously different doses. So at this particular moment, I'm on like 5 milligrams a day, just to keep the swelling and the pain under control. But like, when you're really, really ill, they give you 30 milligrams of steroids, which is like huge. It's absolutely huge. And like, you feel great and you feel on top of the world. And then you have the come down. And obviously you can't take any additional steroids because you don't want to overdose with steroids. But, you know, if you were taking illegal drugs and they weren't consulted by a doctor, no wonder these pop stars and celebrities take more, because, you know, they take all of these substances, they go right to the top, and then they feel great, and then they come down and they feel shitty. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take more pills to make me feel greater. And then they come back down, and it's a vicious circle, to the point where they take so much, you know, substance that they end up overdosing. Or the effect of taking these substances affect their body so greatly that they get to a stage where, you know, there is so much pain and they're in so much peril that they just give and take their own life, just like Avicii did, really. So, you know, it makes you think. You know, it's about making every single day count, and for the time that you're on this planet and on this world, you've got to, you know, make the right decisions. You know, ensure that, you know, are you happy with your friends? Are you happy with your relationships? Are you happy in the job that you're doing? You know, do you every single day do everything to the best of your ability? Do you make people feel great? You know, if you've upset someone or if you've angered someone, sort out the arguments, sort out the disagreements, because life is just way too short, and you don't want to end up regretting. You know, you don't want to have a life filled with regret. You know, what could have been, what could have happened, you know, all of the if, when, and, you know, maybes, if, whens, maybes. You don't want to have those questions, you know, controlling or dictating your life, nor do you want to have regret filling your entire life. You want to be able to get to the end of your life, and, you know, if, say, for example, you live 80, 90 years and you're on your deathbed, you want to sit there and say, I have no regret. I mean, obviously, there are going to be moments, because we're all human, we do stuff that we wish we didn't, particularly for me. I've had moments where I've done stuff, particularly in the relationship, you know, in the relationship genre, that I instantly regret on doing. But, you know, they're regrets because I'm young, and they're mistakes that, you know, I've made that I can live with. You know, I've never done anything that I can't live with. You know, I've just been able to deal with it and move on. But you don't want to get to your life where you've got a catalogue of those. You know, everybody can make the occasional mistake, the occasional regret, something that they deeply, deeply regret doing. And if you have one of those at the end of your life, that's fair enough. But if you've got like 15 or 20, then it, you know, doesn't put you in the best position, doesn't it? So, you know, I'm going to try and conquer my fear of death, and, you know, make every single day count. And, you know, it made me reevaluate my life, so now I don't get upset or angry by little stupid things anymore. You know, obviously the fear of death is sidelined, but apart from that, all the stuff that I used to get angry and annoyed about, I coincidentally don't anymore, just because of the fact that, you know, what happened on Saturday, April 14th, made me realise, you know, generally made me realise what is important, what, you know, you should be getting upset about, and what really isn't worth your time getting upset about, really. So yeah, really, that's kind of how my week, the week that changed my life, really, and how my life did change in a week. But, you know, what happened also in that week is, alongside all of the family emergencies, all of the drama, getting myself into a mental state and trying to get back into a level of, you know, rationality, I had a job interview, you know, and it literally came at the worst possible time. I had a job interview on, I think it was a Tuesday, and, you know, when you've got a job interview, you need to keep calm, you need to keep focused, you need to keep your thoughts rational, and you need to focus on trying to sell yourself to get yourself the job. And to have all of that kicking off in the background, and then to go into that and, you know, focus on that, was difficult, you know. But in actual fact, I think it actually helped me. The fact that if I had nothing else to worry about, if it was just, you know, your routine, regular week, then I wouldn't get to a stage where I would have been, you know, even more nervous about the interview, just because of the fact that I've got nothing else to worry about. Because I had all that family emergency stuff going on, you know, I wasn't worried in the slightest. You know, I mean, there was a level of the morning going into it and going up to the interview where you obviously had that natural level of, you know, that feeling in your belly, you know, that sicky feeling, but, you know you're not going to be sick, but you've just got that level of nerves because of the fact that you're doing so that could make or break you, really. So, you know, I had all of that to contend with, and, you know, it was just mad. It was a crazy week, you know. Everything just came on top of me. Everything came at the worst possible time. But I fucking nailed my job interview so much that I have successfully got myself the job. So, yeah, round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We have done it, and I gave it everything that I had. I put 110% into it, and I can't wait to start it. I'm so passionate about it, and I just, you know, I'm stoked. I really am stoked about it, you know, and it's going to be, you know, a great experience for me. I can't wait to do it. I want to be an asset, because anything that I ever work on, I put 110% into it. I'm not going to specify the details, but what I will say is that it's a new full-time job that I'm taking on very soon. However, and this is the moment that you guys sitting at home will be sitting and thinking to yourself, is this the moment? Is this the moment that I announce my retirement from this YouTube channel? Am I about to announce the end for DJ Bagpuss? Absolutely not. I am not quitting YouTube, and I'm not retiring from YouTube yet. Like, as I said, I put blood, sweat and tears into this, you know, and I'm more passionate than ever before on this YouTube channel, you know, really, you know, and, you know, I can't wait to do both. You know, I've got my full-time job, you know, a job that I'm really passionate about, something that I feel like I'm going to be good at, and, you know, is going to take up a large portion of my time, but, you know, I'm still going to be able to do YouTube as well. So I'm also going to have like two jobs, even though I'm not getting paid for this YouTube work, because, you know, of the YouTube partner program. I treat it like a real job, and the hours that I put into it would be if you were doing YouTube full time. So, you know, it's going to be something that while I'm still doing YouTube and juggling full time work, I'm going to be doing both. Now, the only thing that may change, and I will say this, you know, as long as you keep watching, I will keep posting. You know, and that really should, that should be my slogan. As long as you keep watching, I'll keep posting. Absolutely love that. I need to get that on a t-shirt somewhere. But, you know, as I said, the only way I would stop doing YouTube was if everybody decided just to not watch me anymore, which, you know, could happen in the future. You know, I've been doing this for over a year now, and luckily, I've never ever had a video that nobody has never watched, you know, and the views I get are decent. However, the quantity may dip slightly, but the quality will never ever go. You know, I always post videos, and I always try and get my videos up to the greatest standard that I deem acceptable. And I've had videos that I've worked on in the past where literally I've watched the back, literally about to render them, and I've said to myself, not good enough, just not good enough, and you've never seen them. You know, normally the videos that I say that I'm going to do, because I've already said it to you guys, I always end up doing them, but maybe in a slightly different way. But I always try and do videos and get videos up to a really high standard. And, you know, I've had people in the past that don't like me, or don't, you know, think I'm engaging, or just find me boring, and that's fair enough. But, you know, out of the almost the 15,000 people that have watched me, and I'm not saying, you know, generally, but, you know, I've had almost 15,000 lifetime views. So it might be the same person. But, you know, you probably say, out of the 10,000, 15,000 people have stumbled across a DJ Bagpuss video, you know, on YouTube. And I've had, you know, people watch from all around the globe. In every single country that you could possibly think of, I've had it, because you can check on your analytics, right? And that is mainly doing my football content. So, you know, I've had one person out of like 15,000 that said I can't edit for shit, which was my first hate, which I did a separate video on, and just, I mean, just that's just not true. Instead, that is not true whatsoever. And, you know, I've built up a moderate fan base. I have a you know, small amount of people that like my content, that engage in my content, and I have, you know, decent views to show for that. You know, we've had 2 videos that have hit that 1K, you know, threshold. You know, all of the targets that the only target now is to get to 1,000 subscribers. You know, we're at 300. We literally just hit 300 a couple of days ago, and that is the golden one. If I can get to 1,000 subscribers, that would be absolutely crazy, because I never ever thought I'd get anywhere near that. So, you know, by the end of this year, that is what I really, really want to try and achieve. So, who knows whether we're actually going to do that. But, you know, I can't guarantee a future for this YouTube channel. You know, I'm 100% committed to the channel. You know, I love this so much, and, you know, I love doing YouTube. I love recording, I love editing, I love uploading, I love engaging with you guys in the community. I love responding to all of my comments. Like, if you comment on one of my videos, you're going to get a reply instantly. I can say that because I'm a small YouTuber, and every small YouTuber normally responds to all of their comments, but I make sure that no matter how long it takes me, and I've had like one video that got like 40 comments, to be about an hour and a half to respond to all of the comments. But I'm guaranteed, and, you know, I guarantee responding, and I'm committed to doing that. You know, I love engaging with you guys so much, and that is what makes the endless hours of recording, editing, uploading, you know, worthwhile, to see people watching it, engaging on it, and giving me their thoughts and feelings to stuff that works and stuff that doesn't work. And even now, I wouldn't even say that I'm doing it to kind of prove to you guys of how well I can record, how I can edit, and how I can upload. Because I think I've done that. You know, I've done about 158, 160 videos, and, you know, we've made some absolute bangers. I've showcased my editing skills. There are videos on my channel that I'm so proud of, like my 100 subscriber special. I am so proud of that. That is one of the greatest things I've ever achieved. Like you know, honestly, just how much time that went into it. And like my college lecturer, Ben Gurney, who was a big influence in the early days, who really kind of made me see that I can actually do something like this, because, you know, I never started confident. You know, I was never confident doing this YouTube channel, and confidence, you know, when I was growing up, was something I've always struggled with. So, you know, as I've got older, I've now come to the realization that, no, I actually am good at this, and I'm good, and I believe that my content is good, and I feel like I do give you guys the greatest content possible, and I feel like I'm a very good editor. You know, I literally, and like, I don't want to sound cocky or sound like I'm hating on other YouTubers, but the amount of YouTube videos that I see that are so badly edited is absolutely beyond me. And these are people, some people have got, you know, 1,000 subscribers, 10,000, you know, 15,000, 20,000 subscribers, right? And their content is absolutely awful. And when I mean awful, I mean the production value, because, you know, if I don't like somebody, or, you know, just find them annoying, then I'm not going to hate on their production. You know, I've watched, you know, YouTubers who edit absolutely phenomenally, that have, you know, great production value, but their personality is just something that I don't get along with. And, you know, it's a matter of opinion, you're not going to like anyone, but the channels that really trigger me are the ones that are literally so badly and poorly edited that it's like, surely to God, how can you upload this before actually watching it back? So, you know, in terms of me, obviously in music technology, I learned my editing skills, you know, and like for me, audio editing is just as important as visual editing, really. Getting things in time is like, if it's not in time, it really gets on my nerves. And even when I watch, like, you know, other like shows and like, you know, TV and movies, and normally the music's in sync, but on occasions when it isn't, oh mate, it really gets my goat. But what I'm saying is that I don't need to prove myself, because I know I'm a good editor. I've made countless videos that are edited well, and you know, I'm not proving myself. I'm confident in the content that I produce. So now I'm doing videos purely to keep the series that I've started, maintaining those, but also for the fact that I've got people out there that want to watch me, and I want to create entertaining and engaging videos for you guys, really. Now, the only thing that I think of is that obviously I do YouTube full time. My uploading schedule is sparse, shall we say. It is very, very sparse. You know, I have a schedule, but you don't know what days videos are going to come out. Obviously, analysing Arsenal, because I do videos on the day of the games. Sometimes maybe the day after, depending if I've gone out for the night or, you know, been sidetracked or done, you know, something else. But normally they go out on the day, and you know, my uploading schedule is very sparse, and there is no consistency in the series. So like today, the DJ Bagpuss Show is back after a 2-month break, which, you know, I don't understand. My last podcast was on Valentine's Day, and it's now like the end of April that we've got another one. And like the reason, there is a reason why that is because my next podcast I had planned is I was going to do a first episode of the DJ Bagpuss season 2, the first episode that features a guest. Because at this stage of the DJ Bagpuss Show Season 1, we had a guest in the form of Ben Gurney, and we also had Ashley Harris, Luke Bonner, and White, and Christopher O'Bray. I haven't had a guest yet this season. I was trying to get that sorted, and it just, the pedestal kept going and being pushed further and further back, and it got to the stage where, when I was aiming to do it, we then had the family emergency, and obviously we're starting work soon, so, you know, we are going to have guests on the show at some point. When that point will be, I have no idea. I don't know when that's going to happen. But, you know, I have, you know, and I was talking about this in my, like, the Secret to Success on YouTube, which you guys checked out, which I posted on Thursday. And I spoke about this, and I said that, you know, even though this is a strength, because it keeps the channel fresh and keeps the channel, you know, pumping with all these different series, like my podcast series, my football series, my video game series, my music series. I get the OG DJ Bagpuss fans that literally watch anything that I post, and then also people that like watch one specific set of series. I know there's people on my channel that literally just watch my podcast, so, you know, new podcast, so, you know, those people are going to be happy going into today, the day that I upload this. So, you know, it's kind of a strength and a weakness, because, like, even though I upload various different series, and as I said, it keeps the channel pumping and fresh and alive, it's a weakness because there's no consistency, and that could, and ultimately what I think has dented my growth slightly, because you see all these YouTube channels that do one specific thing, and even though I said that I don't want to do the same thing over and over and over again, if you upload the same thing and the same kind of concept on a daily or a weekly basis, there is definitely proof in the pudding that gets you a quicker growth. Because people expect it, they know what time, they know what date it's going to be going out, you know, they know what date it's going to be going out, they know what time it's going to be going out, and, you know, they just know. They know exactly when and where it's going to happen, and that gets people onto the channel. With me, you don't know when the next podcast is going to be, and I say in my videos that, oh, this video is going to be coming out, so forth, it doesn't. I go to Twitter and say it's coming out the next day and the next day. People just don't know, so they only, like, when they see their notification that I've uploaded, that's when they check it out, or when I promote it. But nobody knows, really, and even I don't know when I'm doing, like, I know what videos are coming up, but the dates always constantly change. And like I said, it's a strength but also a weakness kind of cascading into one. But, you know, what will happen when I start work full time is I'll probably do one edited video, and this is the plan. Obviously, things will change, and it will be something that I will have to just, like, it will be a trial and improvement. You know, it will be something which I can only find out the answers to once I actually start doing it. But my plan is that I probably will do one edited video that comes out every weekend, and then during the week I do these unedited videos. And these unedited videos, in my eyes, I feel are just as good as my edited ones, because I'm pretty good at communication, you know, and as I said, when I do make a mistake, I correct myself. I don't have long pauses, long gaps, you know, and that's what really turns people off from a video. And, you know, when I do make a mistake, I always correct myself. If I don't correct myself in the video, I'll correct myself down in the description below. So, you know, I don't make, you know, stupid mistakes that would be, you know, and not warrant video being uploaded, really. And often in these edited videos, all the mistakes are cut out. But, you know, it's in my eyes, the unedited videos allow me to get videos out quicker, because editing takes up a lot of time. But also, it keeps the quality. You know, if I just start sprouting incoherent, you know, jibber jabber, and I do have a tendency to go on a little bit, shall we say. I do have a tendency to, you know, like people who are watching my content say right now, to just get to the point. You know, Stephen, get to the fucking point. And, you know, that is something that I'm definitely trying to you know, claw and come back. You know, sometimes I say something, you know, the words fall out of my mouth, you know, quickly come back. And I think it's just the fact that I love talking. I love communicating, and communication is one of my strengths. But because of that, it means that I can, you know, ramble on a little bit. So, you know, with these unedited videos, they will have to be, if I do one edited video during the week, particularly as we're coming to the end of the football season, and the majority of my edited videos are analysing Arsenal videos, you know, that will be interesting. I need to find something that is worthy of doing a video, because I'm not just going to bring out just, you know, something for no reason. And I hate doing that. I've never ever done a video just for the sake of doing a video. You know, obviously, you know, the longer you don't upload, the less your channel is active, and, you know, it can be quite stale. And I've had a couple of moments, although the week that I had that 7-day hiatus, you guys were still watching my content. So, you know, I really do appreciate the support, because you guys show some amazing support to this channel. And, like, I always say it, and I keep saying it, but it really does mean a lot, really. So my idea is to do like an edited video a week, so be like a once a week YouTuber, and then during the week when I'm actually working, when I get back in the evening, you know, maybe on like every 2 days I'll do an unedited video about something, maybe starting a new series. I might have to sit down and really think about something that I can do unedited that will keep you guys interested, and something that is related to a series. I don't really know. I have to think about that. But like I said, I'm not guaranteeing the future, because, you know, with everything, and there are loads of YouTubers that have full-time work that I've managed to keep up a YouTube channel, but the other thing that I've got to consider is my illness. Obviously, I have an illness, and, you know, doing too much, if you overdo it, you have the, you know, you pay the price the next day, incidentally. You know, you honestly, you pay the price the next day. So, for me, I've got to try, and it's just, as I said, a trial and error, really. I've got to see, I'll start, you know, doing full-time work, I'll keep doing YouTube. If I get to the point where I just physically can't do YouTube anymore, then I'll let you guys know. It's just going to be something that we'll have to see, you know, and like I said, the quantity may dip, but the quality will never go. So, you know, the quantity, as I said, I think I upload probably like every 2-3 days. We might upload maybe, I don't know, every 3 days, maybe once a week. We might get to a point where we do edited videos, so, you know, doing ones that are like once a week, but the quality of videos will always maintain, even if the quantity drops slightly, because, you know, I've got to juggle full-time work, YouTube, social life, other stuff, you know, my illness. So, you know, it's very exciting times, but it's times that I can't predict. You know, I generally just can't predict what's going to happen, really. So, you know, I'll let you guys know. I'm starting work in a couple of weeks. I'll let you guys know on social media if there's any changes. I might do a video in the future talking about it. But, you know, one of the things that I'm going to round off this podcast in a couple of moments, a much shorter podcast today, what I've learned is that you can't, there's one thing you can't predict, and you can't predict life. You know, if somebody had said to me when I started, when I uploaded my very first YouTube video on March 3rd, if someone had said to me that a year later you'd still be doing it, I would have laughed their arse off. If someone said to me you would have got 100 subscribers, I would have laughed their arse off. If they told me I would have got 200 subscribers, I'd laugh their arse off. 300, again, can't believe it. If someone says to me you're going to end up getting 1,000 subscribers, I don't know. I wouldn't believe that, you know. And I sound really humble, and you'll really say that in the back of my mind. I'm very, very confident. I'm confident in this channel. You know, I'm confident with the content that I produce. I feel like I present and bring to you guys very. I mean, it'd be very bad for me that if I said, "Oh, my videos that I do are shite," you know, you'd be sitting there thinking to yourself, "What?" But you know, I feel like I do make good content. I feel like. I think the problem for me is I joined the boat way too late. I think if I started 3 or 4 years ago, we might have seen, maybe, I'm not sure, we may have seen different results, but, you know, definitely, you know, starting YouTube in 2017, 2018, when there's absolute millions of users out there, and you've already got the established YouTubers that get the majority of views, you know, it's difficult out there. I think Keenstar said a very good thing when all the small YouTube fiasco with YouTube changing their updates and their policy to join in the YouTube Partner Program. He said if you are a small YouTuber thinking that you can make it as a career, just give up. And I kind of agree with him to a point. I wouldn't say give up, because he said if you're just doing YouTube for fun and you're doing it because you've got an audience that watches you, then you know hallelujah or God bless you. I think he said something like that. But it is almost impossible to make it as a career now. And that's not to say that it can't happen, because it can. But, you know, I do Arsenal videos. You've got Arsenal Fan TV, 700,000 subscribers. FIFA videos, The Side with Chris and D. You know, like these podcasts, True Geordie podcasts. There's so many other podcasts that are out there. And, you know, I've had 2 videos that have hit 1,000 views, which is great. But then you've got videos that hit, you know, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. There is loads of channels out there. As I said this, I think I said this, I can't remember when I said this before, that there are YouTube channels that my channel's in a better position than their channels. But there's so many more YouTube channels that have got more views, more subscribers than me. And that's just the name of the game. That's just how YouTube works, you know. As long as you've got a small audience out there, and that's what I say to anyone who wants to start YouTube. If you've got a small audience out there that like and engage with your content and make the time that you devote and spend working on YouTube videos, if that makes it worthwhile, then great, do it. But if you've got no one watching you, then you know that you have to either think about why is that, how can I promote myself better, what kind of content can I do to attract and draw people onto it, you know, or incidentally, is this just not for you really, you know. And whatever happens in the future, particularly for this channel, we've had a good run. You know, we've had you know, just over a year of being, as you would say, a full-time YouTuber, because I haven't had another job since leaving college until now. You know, we've had a very, very good run. We've made some great videos. I've met some incredible new people, and I have hopefully helped people who need help. So people that have had bad days, so people tweet me saying that my video brightens up their day. And if I can help, support, you know, entertain, you know, anybody. If someone out there is having a bad day and can watch one of my videos and it cheers them up, that's why we do it. And that is why I spend endless hours editing, recording, uploading. Or I did that the wrong way around. I edited before I recorded. Lovely. If I spend the endless hours of recording, editing, uploading and just to make one person happy, then I'm doing my job right. So I don't know what the future holds. You know, I've got a rough idea of how I'm going to run the channel while doing full-time work. I've got over the week that changed my life. The family emergency has been sorted out. Everything is all good in the hood. I'm trying to conquer my fear of death. And we're looking to get back to normal ways. And like I said, I've got some great videos coming up for you guys. You know, honestly, the next 2 weeks are going to be absolutely mental on the channel, so stay tuned. And yeah, I think I'm going to conclude the podcast here. I don't want to waffle on. You know, I can't believe that hour's literally just flown by. So I really hope you enjoyed it. So happy that the DJ Bagpuss Show is back. And season 2, probably the next episode of the DJ Bagpuss Show will probably be a Premier League season review, just like I did last year in season 1. Because the football season is drawing to a very dramatic close, as well with all the other football content on my channel. Team of the Season for FIFA 18 has started tonight. I literally opened a couple of packs earlier, but my first video probably will be for the Premier League, which I think is going to take place next week. But like I said, I've got lots of great videos that I'm currently working on, lots of great videos planned. So if you're enjoying the channel and you want to leave me any, you know, comments or videos that you'd like to see me do, anything that you've enjoyed, what's been your favourite moment of the channel so far, then let me know down in the comment section below. Follow me on Twitter at DJ Bagpuss 1998, where I think we've literally just hit the 1,000 follower threshold. So thank you to everybody who has followed me on Twitter. Please make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and check out my other great content as well. And this is DJ Bagpuss signing out. Until next time, take care, and I shall speak to you all very, very, very soon. I just want to say thank you to everybody that supported me over the last kind of 14 days. All of the comments that I got from friends and, you know, my family, who were absolutely amazing. You know, we stuck together and got through a really, really difficult moment. And just you guys for, you know, staying with me, sticking with me, supporting me, and welcoming me with open arms when I did return after my hiatus from YouTube. Just all of you, I can't thank you enough. I absolutely love you all. And yeah, until next time, take care, and I shall see you all later. Take care, and I shall see you all soon.
'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give